Hello, all my cozy, drowsy, sleepy friends. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope that you'll make believe with me just a little bit tonight and imagine that you're out on the beach in the moonlight, enjoying the waves and the ocean breeze. You may even have a nice comfy blanket and some pillows to lay on while you enjoy the ocean and a bedtime story. And tonight I'm going to tell you a story about tiny turtles. Teeny, tiny, just brand new hatched turtles. You see, my son and I have lived near the beach for some time, and we've had the privilege of turtle sitting many years. Turtle sitting is an extraordinary experience. They're protected, so the state park where the nests are laid closes at sunset so that we can be sure these beautiful little creatures have every opportunity to make their way safely from their nest to the ocean. And the story I'm going to read to you in a moment is a story I wrote one night while I was turtle sitting. You can stay all night with the nest if you want to, and it's the best way to hope you see a nest hatch, and it's an extraordinary experience. So I'm going to read you this story from some time ago, and I hope you'll close your eyes and imagine that you're on the beach, listening to the waves and enjoying the moonlight while I tell you a tale. It's only about 6, but I'm anxious to get out on the sand, so I go out about 6:30. This gives me plenty of time to do an entire pass to the end of the beach and back, and also have a sunset swim. The sunset is gorgeous tonight. Nest 6 is close to tall dunes, so I don't get a direct view of the sun hitting the horizon, but I do get the glowing orange, pink, and blue clouds through the sea oats, topping the dunes behind the nest. The cotton candy sky extends out to sea, giving a 360-degree show. I go for a swim while I wait for the people to shuttle out of the park at sunset. There's a horrendous rip current right in front of the nest. I wade out into ankle-deep water and note that the current is strong. Then I take a few more steps and fall off a shelf into a strong current that sweeps me out quickly. I scramble, swim, jump, and body surf away from the current and along the shore until I'm free and able to make my way back to firm footing. Note to self, that's a big one right there. Moving a bit down the shore, I swim in a less perilous place. Now I find that it's dark enough to see the sea sparkles. Swimming in them lights them up all around me, and standing after a dip leaves them stuck to me like fireflies. I stand up excitedly to realize that I am possibly the only person on the entire island enjoying this amazing gift from Orabelle. I splash about in the surf for a bit, enjoying it. I dive a few times and note that exhaling while underwater also illuminates the sparkles near my air bubbles. There is still enough dusky glow that I can see the cotton candy clouds above the surface of the water from underneath it. Enough clowning around. The ranger went by with a short beep of his horn, indicating that the park is closed. I meander up to my nest to get to work. I run a shallow trench from the nest to the ocean. There's a drop-off at the high tide line, so I make a ramp for the tiny turtles to slide down so that they don't tumble and end up upside down on their trip to the water. I stand looking at the path from the nest to the water, content that it is just what the ranger ordered. I think about how short the land journey is for the tiny turtles from the nest to the water. I think about how vast the ocean journey is for the tiny turtles, from the shore to the part of the ocean where they'll be safe to eat and grow. Some previous Googling indicates that there is a lot that's not known about the early years of their lives, but they are undeniably headed out to sea and will travel hundreds upon hundreds of miles. The few that survive to adulthood may live hundreds of years. Of those hundreds of years and thousands of miles, these few feet of sand are but a blip in the distance they will travel. A tiny blip in time spent on land in the grand scheme of potentially hundreds of years of living. I get to be here with them for that blip. I hope they remember me. I know they will remember my energy. The mama turtles remember where they were hatched and where they lay their eggs. Humans and turtles speak no shared language, yet the way of things leaves me happy knowing that they will, in some way, be influenced by my presence. I do my best to make that presence a good one. For sure, and above all else, I love them. They love me back. There's a cool ocean breeze making the temperature perfect. My skin is still salty from my swim, and I decide it must be time for another. More sea sparkles. I don't stray far from shore. The tide is almost low. A storm is passing out over the ocean. Frequent lightning far off lights up the horizon. Yet the starry sky above is clear and showing off both constellations and the occasional shooting star. The half moon is bright, and I neither need nor want light. It is high overhead now, and later when it nears its set, I watch it disappear into a glowing formation of thin clouds. It doesn't photograph well. The naked eye, adjusted to hours of only moonlight, it is as glorious as the preceding sunset. Understated in order to show off, without directly competing with the sunset. Well played, Luna. Well played. Watching the night sky, I recall that last night's sky was scattered with occasional rain clouds. A burst of light rain here and there speckled both the calm waters and the sand with raindrops, much like the moon shining through the quickly moving clouds, speckled the shore and water with shadows. I swam in the rain last night, of course. It is no better or worse than swimming on a clear night, just differently beautiful. I check the nest. It is still. The tiny turtles are sleeping. They aren't ready yet. So I just sit near them under the moonlight, ready to fend off unimaginable beasts that would do the turtles harm if I were not near. Because I am tall, I bridge the gap between these ferocious beasts and the tiny helpless turtles. The hungry beasts will not chance an encounter with me for such a small snack as their only potential reward. I am not ferocious. I am simply tall and I smell like a human, so even the vicious coyotes will stay away. Other humans have taught them that my smell means danger. I am not danger. Most of the time I am deeply saddened by the reputation that other humans have given me simply because I look like them. Tonight, though, I am delighted that I will not need to engage a hungry beast in mortal combat, because I smell like danger through no fault of my own. The tiny turtles know little of this dance, which also delights me. They only know that it was dark and quiet and sandy, and suddenly it will be seemingly infinitely open, and the ocean will call. I'm happy to be the accountant managing the details of the land creatures for the few moments it takes for the tiny turtles to vacate. I would vacate the land too if I could. In fact, I feel it is only a matter of time before I answer the call of the open waters. By midnight, I find that I am the only person left in the park, and I take some time to commune with Orabelle and Luna and the stars. I am called to walk the beach for a bit on the hard-packed low-tide shoreline. I do what I must. It is 1 a.m. and there is still no sign that my tiny turtles will join me on the surface, so I load up and go for a low-tide, moonlit drive back to the human world. A meander, really, slowly cautious of any other nests that may be hatching, or the unlikely possibility that Mama Turtle may be crawling up to nest. I'd be blessed to come across either, and would eagerly stop in my tracks to extend my stay, and sit quietly near either miracle for as long as it might last. The breakers dance in the moonlight, the ghost crabs scurry about, infernal creatures that would harm my tiny turtles if they had the chance. I scowl at each one I see, although I dodge them and mean them no harm. We are only adversaries during a hatch. Right now, we share a love of the beach. I arrive at the gate and have trouble seeing the little numbers on the combination. My vision has blessed me with the absence of much fine detail as my journey has advanced beyond such tidbits. So the shiny brass typeset numbers remind me that I am not in a hurry. There is plenty of time. I mostly feel them and manage to get the gate open and closed each time. I note to myself how beautiful the situation is and how blessed I am. Being entrusted passage in and out of a state park after hours is an extension of a long ago forgotten honor system. Therefore, I not only treat it with respect and honor it, but I appreciate it and am grateful for it. Long drive home in the cool night air. Windows down, cheap radio up loud. No hurry. Namaste from Orabelle, Luna, and the tiny turtles. So my friends, thank you so much for joining me tonight on the beach under the moonlight, hearing my story about tiny turtles. And as always, I hope that wherever you are cozy and feel safe and loved, and even if your journey does not in this moment afford you the feeling of love and safety, please know that you will have it. There will be a time and place, and all you have to do is search for it with your heart, not your eyes or your words. I hope all of you have sweet dreams and rest well. Good night.